Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with a click. That's the conglomerate. The Nick's real talk is real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. The entourage be on the job. My energy, 50 tripping and 10 books. As they cook my game plan, let my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the things we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the link, Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's hair space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Nick City drip. There's 50 Dexys on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew, so here's a few bars to shine like stars divine to Mount Mars. Nick's real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Nick's real talk right here. I'm representing
Nick's real talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Nick's real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Nick's real talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Yo, welcome. What's good, everybody? Salute tonight, man. Nick's real talk. Let's get it. We in the building. It's your man, Donovan Mitchell here, man. We about to get it popping. Talk about this Donovan Mitchell thing, man. The reason why we're going to talk about it because we got some interesting players from the New York Knicks was actually talked about in this trade thing going down. We're going to get into all that because there's some key players that we all love. You know, we want to talk about this thing, man. We're going to get into it, man, and just really dig deep into this. I want all you cats in the chat. I want y'all reaction tonight. This is really about you guys, man. What y'all think about what's going on out here in the Knicks stratosphere about the Donovan Mitchell thing with RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, all that. We're going to get into all that, break all that down, man, and really talk about this thing, man, because we're going to see if it's going to be a deal or no deal, or it's going to be real or it's no deal. You know what I mean? So we're going to really get into it, man, see what's popping with that and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, hope everybody had a good day today, man. They was out there doing their thing on their grind, doing what they had to do to make it happen. Salute to my man, Shop Powers, KJ. My man, Shop Powers out there on the honeymoon. He had a beautiful wedding Saturday that we all attended Saturday, man. Salute to my man, Shop Powers, you and your wife. Beautiful wedding we went to Saturday, man. Salute to you guys for really getting it popping, man. But yeah, I'm really ready to get into this Nick thing. Salute my man, KJ, and salute to the chat first and foremost because I really want to see what the Knicks gonna do with this thing, man. I'm really intrigued by some of the things I hear. I'm not intrigued by some of the things I don't like. So we're gonna get into it and break it down. Salute to the chat: Keith Turner, Johnny Davis, Frank Matos, Shy Powers, Tim Smith, my man, long time supporter of the Knicks Real Talk Show. Tim Smith, my man, G-Man 78 in the building with us as always. Real talk, man. But yeah, man, we're going to get into this New York Knicks thing, man, because I think it's so important that we talk about what took place, you know, over the last couple of days, speculation and things of that nature involving, you know, RJ Barrett possible going in the deal, Obi Toppin going in the deal. What y'all think about this, man? Let's talk about this thing, man, because, you know, it's going to be really interesting to see what Danny Ainge's going to finally do and what the New York and Leon Rose and the Knicks organization going to do to get this thing solidified to get it done, you know. And there's a lot of talk out there, like we heard, man, like especially the RJ Barrett thing. You know, we got a lot of people in the family who's a big RJ Barrett supporter. We got guys who, you know, they're out of iffy on him because he's about to get a max extension or near the max or whatever the Knicks offer him. He knows he's in line to get that. So a lot of people wondering, you know what, RJ Barrett, is he worthy of this? Before Donovan Mitchell, is he worth getting rid of to bring Donovan Mitchell in here? And whatever other draft capital that's going to go along with the situation. So it's going to be real interesting to hear what you guys think about that, man, because I'm an RJ Barrett guy. You know, I love the way his cat came into the New York organization in his rookie year, wanted to be in New York, took the challenge of being in New York, you know, and wanted to be a Knick since he was, you know, and so you got to appreciate a guy like that who really want to be here, man, and really want to be a part of this Knicks thing, man, moving forward. So, you know, I'm really, you know, I'm an RJ guy. I love guys who put the work in, they get better, they want to strive, to continue to grow their game and work on it and work to be a better NBA player. We have one guy like that in RJ Barrett. You know what I mean? He's a constant worker. He's looking to be good or better or great, as he would say. So it's interesting to see what where this is coming from. I have no sources. I'm letting you know that now. I'm not even locked in like that. I read Twitter, I read the Bleacher Report and all that. That's where I get all my information from. So whatever you guys pretty much getting, I'm getting, because I'm not trying to be a source getter. I just want to reveal the information that I see it out there. So it's all out there in the atmosphere. It's speculation. I don't know how real it is. If you're not hearing it from Mo, Shams, Carrera, or you're not hearing it from guys like that who is locked into the trade rumor situation, you can't really take too much of it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? We respect the Ian Bagleys, all them other world. We respect these guys, but where the source coming from, where they're getting the information from. Like I said, when you're really not hearing it from Shams and them guys, pretty much it all could be just possibilities. But being that RJ Barrett name was mentioned in this thing, and that's why I want to get into the RJ Barrett situation, guys, because like I said, we drafted the young man in 2018. Came into the league, started establishing himself year by year. Haven't even played 4 years yet. Rookie year, 14 a game, like we say, and moving on and on. So, it was interesting to see, the second year he got 17 points a game, helped lead the Knicks to their first playoff appearance in almost 8-9 years, whatever the case may be. The last year, he's averaged 20 a game. Every year, though he shot his field goal percentage last year was pretty abysmal to a degree, which with all the Knicks' field goal percentage was pretty bad last year. But overall, he improved his scoring. His defense got better. His rebounding numbers and his assist numbers pretty much went up a percentage point here or there. But obviously, the free throw shooting, the 3-point shooting, and the 2-point shooting range was down for the whole Knicks team. But they only shot 40% after he did. But he shot like 30, 35 down there. So what do you guys think about the RJ Barrett situation? Or if the Knicks had to say, we got to send RJ Barrett to get Donovan Mitchell, are you guys willing to do that? Or do you think that you rather say, you know what, if we have to give a RJ Barrett, what are you giving with it? You know what I mean? Because like I said, the guy is now a 20-point scorer in the game. I think his field goal percentage will be better this year. I think RJ Barrett will improve in a lot of facets this year. So I do think that we got to look at the future RJ. Is he going to be worthy of the money that he's going to get, whether it's going to be 25, 30, I don't know, 40, whatever. What you guys think that RJ Barrett should stay out of that trade? What do you guys think when it comes to RJ Barrett? Do you think the Knicks should put him in that trade, or no? He could be one of our franchise players. We want to hold on to him. Me personally, like I said, I wish we could get somebody else. I wish they could take somebody else and leave RJ here. I'm a believer in a guy like that, man, who works to get better every day. Every game, every day, he's working on his craft. He want to be better than what he is. So guys like that, you got to look to where they're going to be a couple of years from now, or because he's always looking to get better. So I do think RJ Barrett, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, I think RJ Barrett will be pretty much an all-star in this league, because I believe his work ethic is like that. You know what I mean? And you see his maturation every year he's in the league. So, for me to put him in the trade with Donovan Mitchell, yeah, I don't want it. I would love for RJ to be here with Donovan Mitchell. But if the Knicks feel like that's what they got to do, then so be it. We still going to support or whatever. But I would be disappointed coming from Divine's perspective on losing RJ Barrett, because I just want to see this cat continue to grow in New York and get better. So it's that's a tough call. The organization got a tough call to make. Some decision makers from what I hear, some people in the organization, some don't have a problem with it, some do. So that tells you with the organization that if that rumor is true, that they saying some people in the organization willing to do it, some people don't. I don't know. I don't know how legit the sources are, but if it's true, that means you got a situation there where some people in the organization willing to move them or not. But if you give up RJ Barrett, you can't be giving up no 4 unprotected picks. Not somebody that good, close to where Donovan Mitchell was at. Yeah, he's not Donovan Mitchell, but you can't give up RJ and 4 unprotected picks. I just think that's insane. If that's the deal, you could throw in another couple of players and two unprotected picks or something. But I think you'll be selling RJ short as his talent, somebody who can get you 20 points a game and look like he's going to be around for a minute. For the RJ point of it, I'm not really sold on that. I would really hope that the New York Knicks do something a little bit more different and go a different direction with that. Hey, Frank, that's a good question. I don't. That's what, to me, I don't think that. That's why I don't think that they really want RJ, because I don't think that's what Danny Ainge is trying to do there. So for me, it's got to be Some could be just possible speculation. I just don't think Danny Ainge won. You're going to get R.J. Barrett. You rebuilding, and then you're going to give him a max deal. I'm with you on that one, Frank Mattos. I really don't know what to say. How the Knicks would even want to do that, and I don't think the reason why Danny Ainge wouldn't do it unless he's going to say that R.J. Barrett will be the cornerstone of his franchise. Then all the young people that he bring in gonna kind of be around. Evolve around RJ. That's the only scenario that I can see why Danny Ainge would do that, because they think like, well, you know what? We're going to make him this guy, and then whoever we bring in the draft behind him or the players we get, we build around RJ. And Utah probably like that. Utah, the state of Utah might like that. They might say, well, we got a young star here, well respected. He's a real character type of person, got a good character to him. So that I think he would represent Utah well. I don't think Danny Ainge would, from that standpoint, when they know how to build his fathers, the pro sort of, he's managing in Toronto, and he got, father got tied to a lot of them players over there that's being coming out of an international situation. So you never know, you know what I mean? But hopefully that's not the case. I would love to see RJ Barrett stay in the forward of the New York Knicks, man, and represent us pretty well, man, because I like RJ Barrett. But you never know what happens. You never know what happens. It is what it is. These guys look like they want to build something, and they look like they want to go through. They want to contend for some playoff spaces and spots and things of that nature. So I get what the Knicks might be thinking, but and they don't want to. Also, they probably don't want to give up off that 120-something million when they got Randle. Then you're going to have Brunson at 100 million. You're going to have Donovan Mitchell at 100-something million. Then you're going to have Randle at 100-something million. And then you would have to have RJ at 100-something million, and Mitchell Robinson at 60. But that's like I said, 129 million, pretty much locked up in your starting unit. So I'm interested to see if the Knicks just say, you know what, I wish it could be the Fournier and the guys like that, because I think RJ Barrett that important to the Knicks. You know what I mean? But if it happens, I know us as Knicks fans, we will be very disappointed. Some of us. I don't know what the percentage ratio is, 70-30, 60-40, 80-20. I know some are going to be upset about it. Some are going to say, I wanted to happen anyway. Because you have some guys who don't believe in RJ Barrett, which is understandable. That's their right. Their right to feel that way. But if you look at it from the whole picture, I think RJ Barrett is going to be a player in this league for a long time. And we all forget the man's only 22 years old, and he's just going into his fourth year. You know what I mean? And so, you got to kind of weigh your apples to oranges with the RJ situation, but just due to the fact that he's young, he's very young, you know what I mean? And he's just starting to come into his own. And are you willing to risk him and all them other picks to go to get Donovan Mitchell, which is, don't get me wrong, we're going to talk about Donovan Mitchell in a minute. But from an RJ perspective, I'm 50-50 on that thing, man. I really am. And reason why I'm only, from my heart, I'm 80-20. From my heart, I'm 80-20 on RJ. I mean, 80%, I want RJ to be in New York no matter what. But the reason why I say I'm 50-50, because it's not about me, it's about the Knicks organization, what they feel. Because if they trade RJ, I'm still going to be a Knicks fan. I would be disappointed to see him go, but it's about the name in the front, not the name in the back, so we're going to have to live with that. I would be disappointed to see him go, but, I would love to. I was hoping that they could pair him with Donovan Mitchell and things of that nature, but at the same time, you know what? You got two guys who play the two-guard spot. RJ actually just moved to the 3 this year only because of Evan Fournier, and you see how that worked out for the Knicks from a defense perspective, and just RJ just taking on some of the best wings in the league at that 3-guard spot. At the forward spot, at the small forward spot in the league, he's playing guys, and playing pretty well too. So that was a big challenge for RJ to say, my first year being a small forward in the league, I'm going up against some of the creme de la creme cats up in here. You know what I mean? And he held his own, you know what I mean? And a lot of people nitpick about stuff like that. But, you talk about a guy who just did it for his first time in his career, played the small forward spot, and he held it down pretty well. And if you go look at some of the defense metrics that's out there, you'll see he defended the 3-guard spot pretty well, the three spot very well, last year. He defended that spot very well last year. So, but is that his natural position? Do you think he gets bigger as he grows? RJ 22 years old. Do you think he's going to get another inch or two or gain another 20, 30 pounds where he might be able to take on that responsibility full, like he did last year, full time at the 3-guard spot? We don't. I'm at the forward spot. We don't know. But I'm good either way. But I think that's a Knicks dilemma, is with Donovan Mitchell being a 2 guard, RJ naturally 2 guard, and then you got Julius Randle. That's a small team. Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle is that's a small team other than Mitchell Robinson. Nobody in there but Mitchell's over 6'9". Julius Randle truly 6'8", 6'9". Everybody else 6'7", 6'3", 6'4", or whatever. So you got a small team there with RJ and Donovan Mitchell there as well. So, you know, when it comes to lengthwise, we're going to be pretty short in the area in the starting unit if it were to go that way, where you do have Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. That's a pretty small lineup in there. So I get what they might feel about the height in that, but I think you can overcome that somehow, some way. But so I think, you know, for me, I don't want to see RJ Barrett go. You know what I mean? And for me, if you look at what RJ Barrett been doing in his career and things of that nature, he's really been putting it down, man. You can't really knock RJ Barrett for what he's been doing out there on the basketball court. The cat's been playing. He's been playing hard. He really doing his thing. So, you know, I'm hoping that the Knicks find a way to get this guy, you know, locked in here, man, and just let him play, become a New York Knick, and move forward with him. And hopefully in the case that you can get Donovan Mitchell. If you still can get him, and that's fine. That just makes it all more better overall for us if we can get Donovan Mitchell here and keep RJ Barrett. You guys, so it's an interesting dilemma for the Knicks. It really is. I can understand why they're going through what they're going through, you know, but I understand it. And like I said, I'm a RJ Barrett fan, but I'm also a New York Knicks fan, and I believe with this. I believe in the front office. They haven't showed me not to believe in them so far as what they have accomplished since they took over a couple of years ago. You know, I have no reason to doubt what they're thinking about or what they might be saying. The reason why we got to let them go, is it because of money? Is it because they can't move Julius Randle? It could be a lot of stuff. Or do they think that he might not reach a certain level that they want him to? You know, so, and then also, like I said, the main thing to me got to be the money. So, you know, it's a lot with him. You know what I mean? And I'm really interested to see what the Knicks going to do. You know, because if you look at what he's done for his career, RJ Barrett hasn't been too bad. Like I brought up earlier, real quick, you know, you look at his career stats, this from 2019 on, 14, 17, 20 a game. 1 year he shot 32% from 3. 1 year he shot 40% from 3. Last year he shot 34. So he's around league average for his career anyway, around pretty much, you know, 35%. But foul tech 69, you know he can get better than that. That's his Achilles heel right there. RJ Barrett was 69.7 in his career for the charity strike. Man, if that brother get that thing up to 77, 78, man, he'd be 20, 25 a game easy. Especially if we know he can bring up a 3-point percentage, and he also can bring up a field goal percentage when he shot in 2020-21, the second year, which he went to the playoffs, he shot 44%. If he can get the numbers back up to 44%, bring that 69.7 up to 70, 77, you know what I mean, and bring that above average and 3-point, then you're looking at something that could be real special with RJ Barrett. So yeah, that's the reason why I look at what he can be, and the reason why I'm hoping that the Knicks don't get rid of him. And then, you know, that's the deal with RJ Barrett for me. But the next cat also they talked about was Obi Toppin. That's another interesting one right there is Obi Toppin. Knowing that young man only been in the league a couple of years in New York, and you know, didn't get all the playing time that he wanted, you know, in the first couple of years. But you know, you've seen what he could do with a basketball though. Once he get playing time, you know what I mean. Once he get more time, he get more minutes. Like he produced more, and I think that's really what it is with Obi Toppin. Athletic cat, can get up, jump out of the gym, run like a thoroughbred, got a good motor. He got moves that's really people don't take into consideration too much. They don't look at a lot what he could do with the ball, but I try to kind of cross my T's and dot my I's when it comes to all these guys. And I think Obi Toppin could do some things with a basketball that, you know, that I'm really impressed with. You know, first and foremost, salute to the whole chat, man. Appreciate y'all coming in here, man. My partner in crime, like I said, Sha. You know, my brother's on his honeymoon. Salute to you, my brother Sha Powell and KJ. You know, Coach KJ doing what he got to do. So I'm holding down Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it tonight myself. But y'all stick with me. I know y'all gonna hear me rambling and rumbling, but it is what it is. I got to do what I got to do to keep you guys in tune to what we trying to talk about. But you know, Obi Toppin is the next guy for me, man. I like Obi as well. Like I said, I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew, but at the same time, I'm realistic as well. It's about the name on the front, like I said, not the name on the back. Obi Toppin is a very interesting one for me. But if you got to go because you're going to bring this player in here, then I hate it as well. Like I said, that's only the fandom in me. Sometimes you might hear from the fandom in me, not for the GM in me, but the GM in me saying, yeah, like I said, you got to get Donovan Mitchell and you got to give up Obi Toppin and maybe some picks and something else to go with it. I think you're just gonna have to always be you always gonna have to be that once a Knick, always a Knick with Obi, but he just won't be in New York because I do think people Donovan Mitchell can get down, and I really believe he's that good. So I think the cat is that good, and when I put up his career number, you'll see why I think Donovan Mitchell is that good. I mean, since his rookie year, this cat been bringing it in the NBA. He's only one man. So obviously, he helped get that Utah franchise moving in the right direction. Kept them in the playoffs every year. The cat can get down with a basketball. He can facilitate with a basketball. Underrated passer, skill set that people don't give him credit for. But the cat can get it though. He can get it. He's a talented dude. And so yeah, you don't want to too much worry. I think we at a point in the Knicks organization now where they're not so much worried about relying on potential. Maybe they feel more about, I want to get a player that's already proven himself. And that's what Donovan Mitchell come at. We need a guy, I guess the Knicks feel like, Obi got to prove himself. Donovan Mitchell already proved himself. And he probably got more than proved. And so, the Obi Toppin situation, and I think with the way him and IQ was playing at the end of the year, you've seen a lot of promise in them. You see that connection is easy off the Obi Toppin and IQ off the bench for New York Knicks, along with a couple of other good players like Hartenstein and Derrick Rose and Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish if he's here. Obi Toppin and quickly had a really good connection, man. That was an easy 10, 12 points or fast breaks per game for these guys. And that was so important for us because we were so busy lacking pace last year. Obi Toppin and my man IQ got a good connection together. They got a good bond off the court. They got a good bond on the court. They know where each other's at in their spot. So from that perspective, is you don't want to see Obi go, but at the same time, you can't not give him, you cannot trade him if you're getting Donovan Mitchell. I just think that would be asinine. And I believe me, I'm an Obi guy. I've been an Obi guy. The Dayton Flyer, no liar. I've been on that cat, man, when he came to the league. I really think he got that much potential. And you can see what happens when he gets the minutes. When he gets the minutes, he produces. So, that's what's so, hard, discouraging, and to say that I hate to give him Obi Toppin because I like Obi Toppin. But at the same time, I know it's a business, and I know the Knicks trying to get to a point where they want to be a playoff contender team all the time, which I do think they could be a playoff contender team with Obi Toppin. But at the same time, they'll be better if between him and Donovan Mitchell. You got to take Donovan Mitchell, obviously. So it's a tough situation, man. For everybody. For real talk, man. But for me, I'm pretty much on a D Cool situation. Fournier, Cam, McBride, Forford. I'm with that right there. That's the one they should be doing. And D Cool, I think you hit that spot on, brother. I like that. That Fournier, Cam, McBride, 4 first, 2 seconds. That's how they should be rolling. Because I do think them other guys, man, they got a good commodity. They got good chemistry, man. They know how to get down. And from as much as I like Deuce McBride, because we like the potential of him. But if Derrick Rose is here, he's not going to play. Let's be realistic. They even talking about maybe Cam Reddish might not even be in the rotation, and that's insane. So to make the thing work, I think D Cool probably hit it right on the head. I like that trade a lot. And then you not only you giving up a 3-for-1, but you that means you freeing up 2 more roster spots. Now you definitely got McBride. I mean you got Quentin Grimes backing up Donovan Mitchell. Then you're gonna have IQ there, and you're still gonna be able to have another spot, for the backup 3, because Cam would be going. So that could be Farian Hunt, it could be Obi Toppin at the 3 a little bit more, and the 4, he getting much more minutes, so he can get the minutes that they want to give him. Because I think if Obi Toppin played 25 minutes a game, I think Obi Toppin could do 15 a game. I just per 36 minutes, he got pretty good stats out there. And and just to show even in his ladies and gentlemen, you look at his 2 seasons that he's been. Remember, 2 seasons. His first year, he only played 11 minutes a game, 4 points. But when he got 17 minutes a game, he went up to 9 points. So the more minutes, the more production. He shot 75% from the foul line, which is decent. You know what I mean? He definitely got to get the 3-ball numbers up. And I think he's been working on that in the season. He's been out there getting in some runs and practicing in the gym. His field goal percentage has always been decent. Look at his career. The Knicks as a team last year shot around 40% from the 2-point field goal. He shot 50% in his career. Last year, he shot 53% from the 2-point area. So that lets you know that, his field goal percentage was better than Randle's, RJ's, and everybody's. Totally. You know what I mean? His rebounding numbers, almost 4 a game. That ain't bad for the minutes he was getting. So if you take his 17 minutes and you double that to 34, he'd be pretty much 18. Let's have 18 and 8. You know what I mean? That's not bad. 18 and 8. I would take that for the amount of money he get. And if you had to keep him and replace move Julius Randle, let Obi Toppin play. Because look at for $5 million, if he can give you 17 per 36 minutes, 34 minutes, I meant to say, 17 and 8. Julius Randle gave you 29 and 10 last year. That's not bad for somebody making almost $20-something million less if he could be that productive. So I do think that's the reason why they might, they could look at the Julius Randle situation and say, well, you know what? If this cat can give us that, and with the pace he plays with IQ there, blah, 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 then you might have to look at it. You might understand where the Knicks coming from, from that perspective. Because, yeah, I know, man, that's the thing. They don't, you know what I mean? And I'm glad of that. I'm glad they don't want RJ. I want RJ to be here. So I'm glad they don't want RJ. Randle, from what I heard today, they talking about, some people say the Lakers not interested in neither. So could I, as the reports was out there today that the Knicks were talking about trying to trade Julius Randle. So that gotta mean something to me. If this stuff that we hearing is real talk, is facts, is true, and the Knicks is trying to move Julius Randle in a deal, then that might be telling you something as well too with the Obi Toppin situation. They might say, well, if we move Randle, then we can give RJ Randle's money. You know what I mean? And Donovan Mitchell will get his money, and we still have a little. If you move him. And then knowing that you got rid of that contract, that's big for the Knicks in the long haul, because you got rid of Julius Randle's $100-something million. You took on Donovan Mitchell's $100-something million. So that really you didn't go higher than what you were going to be cap wise, except for Donovan Mitchell made $4 more million more than Randle this year, I think 26 and 20, 30 million. So that's not bad. So I can understand why they might want to move Randle. And then if you give RJ that money, then you still got some good some money to play with for not going into the luxury tax. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm hoping that they do that. But Obi Toppin, man, he's a guy that I really, really like, man. But I like I said, man, this is a business, and it's about the name up here, like we say, man. So you never know what happened with that, man. But I like with him and IQ's maturation last year with the minutes they were getting. At the end of the, after the All-Star break, actually they started getting more minutes. Obviously, Julius Randle went down. Obi Toppin got more minutes. You seen 42 a game. One game he dropped 42, 20-something, 30. IQ had a couple of triple doubles. I mean, these guys were playing, and they wasn't against no scrubs. It was, even though a lot of teams that they were playing, but some of them teams were fighting to be in the play-in. And that's why I keep telling people, like, they wasn't playing no just bench plays when all this was happening. A lot of them teams they were playing, like Charlotte and all these guys, they were still to fight to get into the play-in. So it was competition against good competition. And I think they handled it pretty well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out, before the year starts with this Knicks team. So I really want to see what they're going to do with this. RJ, D Rose, and IQ. It's gonna be tough, man. And then we had to look at who's gonna be that, who's gonna back up Brunson. I guess you can't be Pride. I think Knicks trying to be a playoff team, guys. I think a lot. They want to keep these other contracts, these rookie contracts. They really need them, like the Grimes and the Obis, and I can understand, and the Quickleys, and them guys on rookie deals like $2 million, $5 million. That's the reason why I understand why the Knicks is hesitant to put a lot of these players in there, because with all them high salaries that we're going to have, you're going to have some type of contract to keep this thing flexible enough. You know what I mean? So that's why the Quickly $2 million, the Grimes $2 million, the Obi $5 million, the Cam Reddish $5 million, though he's due for extension. Them contracts is needed. They need it. But at the same time, I think that's the reason why I think the Knicks is not pulling too many triggers, because they really want to say, listen, we don't have a problem with the Fourniers of the world and all that. Maybe one of these guys, but we can't give you all our young talent on rookie deal, because we're going to have a starting lineup with almost $130 million in cap. So you're going to need guys like Quickly and Obi and them who got small contracts to be able to stay under the luxury tax. And I'm quite sure that's the way the Knicks got to be thinking about it. It's but I don't think they should let other than RJ Barrett, to me, let anything on that roster hold him up for getting Donovan Mitchell. I'll keep it 100 with that, and I'm an Obi guy, but I don't want to see him go. But it is what it is, and like I said, it's just speculation that's out there. We don't know how real it is, but it is what it is, man. But Obi Toppin's a good dude, man. I like Obi Toppin. I think he's still got some stuff left in the tank, and I think he's gonna get better as time goes. Like I said, the more minutes you play, the better you get, and I think the Knicks got to take a look at that hard. So, but I understand where the Knicks coming from as well, because him and Julius Randle, that's gonna be hard, bro. It's gonna be hard to have Julius Randle still at the power forward spot starting New York and be able to give Obi Toppin 25 minutes or 27 minutes with Julius Randle taking the brunt of the minutes at the power forward spot. And if you're not moving Fournier, you're not willing to move Obi Toppin. Can he play the 3? You can't play him at the 5 right now because you got Mitch and you got Hartenstein, you got Jericho Sims, so he can't be at the 5 spot. What minutes he gonna take there? None there. And like I said, him backing up Julius Randle gonna get 32 to 34 minutes a game like last year, around 32, 34. It's a surprise. People thought that Tiz played these guys a lot. Julius Randle and Artie Barrett wasn't in the top. I don't think it was in the top 10 in minutes played last year. So I think that notion that he was getting a lot of minutes not true, but he's gonna get 30 something. So where's Obi Toppin gonna get his minutes? I think that's the quagmire that's going on with the Knicks organization, why they might be putting this guy in this thing, because much as we love him, we ain't got a space for him. And if you can't move Julius Randle, then that's going to be real interesting. So, I don't know, guys, like I said, I don't know what these guys want, who want. Like I said, if I don't hear it from Shams or Woj, to a degree, Mark Stein, I can't really say these people tapped in like that. You know what I mean? So I know everything we might think people saying out there might not even be what it is. You know what I mean? Frank Mato said, would you do Fournier, Obi, and 3 unprotected? Yes, I would. I really would. I'll tell you why I would do that, Frank Matos. First of all, Obi Toppin and Fournier together. Yeah, because I think Donovan Mitchell is that more important than Fournier. And I think he can get it way more. He's a star. He's a star, and Fournier is not a star. So he's a star player. So that's why I would do that, because I do think the unprotected because you know what, he's a star. He's not a scrub. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just give him anything. You can't expect Danny Ainge to get fleeced with a weak package, not for a star. If he was just some old role player, then we could be talking different about this stuff. But the man is a bona fide 3-time All-Star. His numbers speak for themselves. Ever since he's been in the league, pretty much he's been in the playoffs. He came to that organization when it was going through what it was going through, and he got there and helped them catch, with Quinn Snyder, Rudy Gobert, and all these guys, helped them get to where they at. You know what I mean? So I think and Jordan Clarkson and all these guys. I would do a Frank Monto just due to the fact, man. That frees up 2 dilemmas. You don't have to worry about the Quentin Grimes dilemma no more, because Fournier's going. So we got Quentin Grimes backing up Donovan Mitchell. Now you don't have to worry about Obi Toppin not getting the minutes, because Julius Randle gonna be taking up the bulk of them minutes. So yeah, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And but the 3 unprotected, I would do it, no question. I just think that that's something that you need to do. Yeah, I do agree with you, Frank. I don't want to call the man a liar, but I just say that his sources is not, I don't think his sources are reliable as Shams and my man and Woj. Them cats is really locked in. They tapped in. They inside. You know what I mean? I think Mark Stein's kind of on the outside maybe, but he's been around a while though. But but I don't think that he's tapped in like them other 2 guys. But yeah, I think so that's the dilemma, ladies and gentlemen. I just think that Obi Toppin or RJ Barrett, I don't want to see RJ go, but I don't want to see Obi go neither. But I would have to say, if Donovan Mitchell is the prize, because I think people don't give Donovan Mitchell credit for what that man have done and what he's accomplished since he's been in this league. I mean, and I really think sometimes that he get the short end of the deal, and a lot of this talk as far as stars around the league, and I think that's the reason why I think the Donovan Mitchell thing to me is something, because I don't think they give that man no credit for what he do in the league. But if you look at this brother's numbers, Listen, man, his rookie year, 20 a game. The next year, 23. The year after that, 24, 26, 25. He's a career 23.9 score. But look at his playoff numbers, though. 28.3. You know what I mean? He's shooting close to 45% every year he's been in the league. Close to 45 every year. His league average in 3-point shooting. His highest was the year before last. He shot 38%, but he's hit 36%. That's decent. You know what I mean? It's above league average. But you look at his assist number. He get you 4. He got 5 assists last year, 4 rebounds. That's good for the 2-guard spot. You compared to the 2-guard we getting from our 2-guard spot last year. So you know he getting you almost 5 assists a game from the 2-guard spot. That's decent. You know what I mean? To know that your 2-guard can get you is not a selfish ball player. So his numbers is there. You know, you can't, you know, the numbers don't lie. 25, 9, 24.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists. I mean, you can't shake a stick at that last year. That's pretty decent. So that's what we up against when it comes to him. I think this cat, 3-time All-Star, and that year, him and the Denver Nuggets and him and Jamal Murray and the bubble, man, them brothers they was lighting that thing up from everywhere. They were dropping 50 a game, 40 a game. I mean, he was going a mano with my man Jamal Murray. So you can see where he at with that. You know, I mean, the kid, he ain't no scrub. That's all I can say. So yeah, we're gonna have to give the get with this young man. You know what I mean? But he's a young man too. So I'm really hoping that it could work out with it. We don't get fleeced. I like that, man. Frank Montel, that. You would have to roll with that, and I don't have a problem with it. But they all athletic. Except Brunson, he's not athletic, obviously, but he's athletic. RJ's athletic. Julius Randle athletic. Mitchell's athletic. That's a good. I think you're gonna have to have Donovan Mitchell. The thing is with me, Frank Montel, you can maybe ask a question with me. How's that ball gonna be distributed between Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, RJ, and Julius Randle? Them cats all need the ball. Who's gonna be that unselfish ball player? Is Julius Randle gonna want to? Is he gonna want to be the man? Is Donovan Mitchell gonna want to be the man? RJ up and coming. Do he gonna feel like he gonna want to make sure? It's gonna be really interesting with it because now you're talking about 4 guys literally who could put the ball on the floor, who need the ball in their hand to operate. Like Brunson need the ball. He's the point guard. Donovan Mitchell, he need the ball because that's the way he get down. None of these guys are spot up shooters. Not Brunson, not Donovan Mitchell, RJ or Randle are spot up shooters. So they all gonna be looking to get that ball and make something happen. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how that dynamic will work with all 4 of them. That's my only concern. The reason why I do like Toppin instead of Randle there, Toppin don't need the ball like that. He's not the one I want the ball given to like a dribble, go to the hole. No, he can catch a shoot on a 3. Once he get the ball, once you pass the ball to him, he can either shoot or drive to the lane. So he to me, he's a better fit in the front. In my opinion, Obi Toppin is a better fit in that starting lineup than Julius Randle, just due to the fact he don't need the ball in his hands to score. If you drive down the lane and Obi Toppin sitting there about a 3-point in the corner, he can get a point from there. He can put the ball on the floor if you don't take the jump and try to go in there, finger roll it, dunk it, whatever. He gets his points on a fast break up and down the court, outlets and everything. So he's one of them guys that I don't have a problem with being in that starting lineup because due to the fact the way he played basketball, Brunson got to have the ball in his hand. Donovan Mitchell got to have the ball. RJ got to have the ball. Obi Toppin don't have to have the ball in his hand to be productive. And that's the difference between him and Julius Randle to me. So, that's why I can understand why the Knicks would try to move Julius Randle, not only for the contract and give RJ money, but I do think that Obi Toppin is a better fit. I'm not saying he's a better player. I say he's a better fit in that starting lineup than Julius Randle. You know what I mean? So I can definitely see. I get it. You know what? Let me see. If you look at Brunson about what, 23, 24, Mitchell Robinson about 24, 25, 24, I mean about 24 now, RJ 22. So and if Obi started, Obi would be close to 25 pretty soon, if he's not 25 already. So Donovan Mitchell 25, Obi 25 almost, I get 24, 25. Mitchell Robinson be heading towards 25. I think Jalen Brunson and RJ probably would be like moving to 23. So I kind of, I get it. I get it, but I think I don't have a problem with him being here, man. Because one thing is good about it, he already locked in his contract. So it's not like, he haven't even reached his prime yet, but he's locked in. You know what I mean? What I do like about the situation is you're going to have a lot of cohesion for the next 3 years because Brunson is locked in, he'd be locked in, RJ would be locked in, Mitchell Robinson is locked in, and we'll see what happens if Randle there. Then Randle's locked in, so you got your whole starting lineup pretty much on a 4-year, 5-year deals. So the continuity for the next 3 or 4 years is going to be there, unless you make a trade or something. But at least you know right now, which is so important. We've never had a lot going on in New York, guys. Is the continuity, the chemistry, everybody playing together for multiple years. That's been our Achilles heel over all the years. But now you got 4 or 5 guys who locked in for 4 years. They just can go play, and then and learn how to play together and see what they can do as a team. So I'm definitely with Donovan Mitchell coming here, man. I gotta say that, man, because I just think the guy's talented. And he right now. If you were to play Julius Randle with Donovan Mitchell, I have no problem with that because if he's giving you numbers that he affects the game for the Knicks better than Julius Randle would. But Julius Randle's a talented player. But you can't get a lot of Donovan Mitchell. You can get another power forward. It's not hard. It's hard to get good point guards and good wings in the league, because everybody else wants them. But power forwards, you can get them. You know what I mean? I think you can get another power forward. But talented as Julius Randle is, Donovan Mitchell, bro. I just think that if we going for that, because think about it. If you move Julius Randle, here's another scenario. Salute to my man Canal, salute to the chat and everybody, man. Let's say if you move Julius Randle, you bring in Donovan Mitchell. Now, that one player that might get us over the hump after Donovan Mitchell might be that one if Obi don't work out. Let's say that power forward spot be a player down the line who can get the Knicks to a championship. So you got Julius Randle contract offer here, but now you got RJ Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. Now you got another. You can go get somebody better than Donovan Mitchell if that were the case. If somebody come on the market, let's say Giannis decide that Giannis might say, you know what, I'm not going to re-sign with Milwaukee. I want a bigger market. The Knicks got the money. Now you got Mitchell Robinson, Giannis, RJ, Donovan Mitchell, and Jalen Brunson. That's championship material right there to me. So he's not getting us to the finals, but he will be a major piece to the New York Knicks. But if we wind up saying maybe a year or two from now, trading down a year or two, somebody who could really help put us over the hump come available. Then you got that spot where Obi at or RJ or whoever to bring in that dude. So. Yeah, I agree. The Knicks can't get fleeced. E. Gibson, they just got to be wise about it. Don't forfeit the future just to get them. Just keep the infrastructure together. But if you do get them, we all got to understand something. If we get Donovan Mitchell for the next 4 years, the Knicks is not worried about who they drafted. They're not worried about none of that. They are looking to go to a championship. If they bring Donovan Mitchell in here, which I think with Jalen Brunson coming here, you bring in Donovan Mitchell, there's no more what lottery position the Knicks want to be in. They got enough draft picks that's never going to see. They're never going to see because you got 4 or 5 year guys locked up for 5 years. So the Knicks them looking to constantly go to the playoffs. You bring in Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, RJ, them. They trying to get to the playoffs every year. That's what Tom Thibodeau them want. And what I like about it, the team they going there with is young. Think about this here. Them cats are still young. You know what I mean? So your starting 5 is under 25 and under. For the next 4 years, they be playing till they 28, 29. So, so I don't think the Knicks going to be worried about too much about who going to be coming out of the draft. I think that's a wrap. I thought that was a wrap last year. After they drafted last year, after the Knicks now, when they brought in Tom Thibodeau, I said the Knicks going to do one more draft. Now was the year they had Quentin Grimes and Sims in them. I like next year they not trying to worry about no draft. And if I'm lying, flying, they happen. They don't care about no draft right now. They ain't looking to draft no players. They looking to get to a championship somehow, somewhere in the next so many years. So I do think that that's out. I really think that's out. So we'll see. But Donovan Mitchell is a special player, man. The kid, like I said, his numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. He put them up. He produced. And even when he was in the playoffs, it's not his fault that the team that he be playing up with better than theirs, or did he that have the X no players around him to make him better? Like, yeah, you had Rudy Gobert, but he's not an offensive threat. Yeah, Bogdanovich and Conley was hurt a couple of years. You know, you had Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench. He can get buckets, but they didn't have the creme de la creme cats to roll with him to get him to that level. You know what I mean? So I think Donovan Mitchell, like Rick Pitino said, he's a worker. He wants to get down and you know, things of that nature, man. Let me bring in my partner in crime, man. This how Knicks Real Talk is. Let's get it. My man on his honeymoon, for the brother coming to always represent. On a honeymoon, he come in here and show us love. My man, Shaw Powers. Salute my brother. I hope you and your wife be having a great time. Where you at?
Yo, man, we chilling. We on our way back, man. We went to Bahamas. We took the trip to Bahamas, man, and it's beautiful, man. If you can't see, I'm blacker than ever and stuff. New fitted on my head, so I'm feeling good. What's going on, Divine?
And we here, man. I'm here with the chat. We talking, you know, this Knicks scenario with Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett name was up there, Obi Toppin. We just trying to go through all the scenarios, man, to see which way this organization gonna go, man. And what do you think, man? What you think is gonna happen? You think RJ gonna stay, Obi gonna stay? What's your thought process on that?
I mean, real quick talk about it. I really, to tell you the honest truth, man, I know there's a lot of things going on talking about how Obi was picked by Rose and Rose is not going to let him go and stuff like that. But I think Obi might be the man. I think Obi might be the man that leaves, man. I don't think they're going to do anything with RJ Barrett, man. I think that's a whole lot of hoopla. But, you know, you never know with how these Knicks fans and stuff go. I mean, how these, the front office and everything going to go. I really do think, though, and I said before, that I think we may separate our ways with Obi Toppin and IQ and stuff like that. I think those are the two guys that maybe put in that into some trade package along with Fournier and a couple of our firsts. They hollering too much about 4 and 5 and 6 first-round picks. I don't think Leon Rose is going to let nothing go unless it's going to be three first-round picks and maybe 1 or 2 of those protected picks that we got. So let's get it happen. Let's get it done. Let's do this stuff soon, man, before training camp starts, and let's see where we go from there.
Yeah, real talk, man. Like I said, I think these guys. I mean, they have to. You know, it's a business shop, Powers who chat, and everybody who watching. You know, you got to be patient with this stuff. You know what I mean? I know everybody want to get done. You know, and I know we all want to get done, but it's a business. You got to. It's tit for tat. It's almost like negotiating. You know what I mean? Like I'll give you this. I'm gonna see what you come back. And right now, the Knicks probably feel like, you know what? Ain't nobody else offering y'all nothing. You know what I mean? And there's no other team that's out there offering you guys something. So I'm gonna play hardball. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play hardball, and then once I feel like I can't play I can't play hardball no more, I'll compromise. You know what I mean? I'll compromise and maybe say, okay, you know what? Instead of that, I might have to give you the 4 unprotected. I don't want to. I'm gonna play hardball now because you ain't nobody got what we got. So I'll have what they have so that they can play hardball. But eventually, if somebody come in the fold with that can kind of be equivalent to what the Knicks is doing, then the Knicks might say, you know what? Okay, there you go. There go your 4 picks. But E. Gibson, that one right there is, I would have to do that right there as well. I like to frame out. If you're gonna move Obi and you move IQ, okay, you know, in 3 unprotected, you got to get the deal done. And I love both of these guys, but that Fournier thing is the one that, if you could, that what it takes to get Fournier off the books and bring in Donovan Mitchell and only 3 unprotected, you make that deal. You make that. You know what I mean? So Frank, I would definitely do that.
I feel IQ is the odd man out, man. If D Rose is still here and we still got Deuce McBride, man, I think IQ and Obi go together in that package, man. And as much as it would hurt to lose both of those guys, man, we bring in a guy that's a guarantee, man. He's a big shot maker, in the game maker. He's about 80% from the free throw line. And you put him in the playoffs, man, and he's almost 30 points a game. So, I mean, would I hate for Obi and IQ to go? Yes. Would it hurt a little bit? Would it sting a little bit? Yes. Do I think that if they go to Utah, would they go out there and flourish? I think they will, because with us still holding on to Julius Randle, I don't think Obi's gonna get no time, man. And this is the year. If we're not getting rid of Randle, I would prefer to see to see Obi go so he could get some minutes, some real quality minutes, so we could see what his potential was. And the one thing another reason why I say it jokingly, but if those two guys go over there, it's not like those guys going to go over there and they're going to win 22 games or 24 games. Those two guys, along with the crew that they got over there, they make something happen over there. So if it's not us getting rid of Julius Randle right now, then I could see something happening with Obi being moved and getting 25 to 35 minutes a night.
Yeah, real talk. Yo, salute to the chat. Y'all got it popping up in there, man. Y'all keep bringing them thoughts up in there, and I'll keep putting them up there. Salute y'all. Make sure I hit that like, subscribe. We on fire. Y'all know what it is. Mixed Real Talk. Let's get it. We got my man Shy Powers on his honeymoon in the building.
On the boat ride like this.
On a boat. We're in the building with Mixed Real Talk. Hey, my co-partners always
had to buy the Wi-Fi and everything. I seen you was on. I had to go buy the Wi-Fi with Divine.
That's dedication. You know how we do. You know we get them bills covered. Don't worry about that. You know how we do.
Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's exciting right now. I'm excited about this thing, man. I just hope it go ahead and happen. One way or the other, we need to get the Donovan Mitchell thing resolved. Whether he's gonna be here, whether he's not, but we know we're gonna move on. Get ready to go into the off season. I mean, the start of the season pretty soon with training camp and in the preseason. I'm ready to get it popping, man. You know what I mean? So I'm really hoping that the Knicks pull this thing off. I'm hoping. I ain't gonna lie to you. If we can retain Obi, RJ, Quickly, and Grimes, and we be able to pull this trade off, I'm good. I like that core. I think that core would be a nasty bench for the Knicks, man. That's one thing I'm happy about, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in the chat. The Knicks got a good team, man. They got a good team now without Donovan Mitchell. They're a deep team. You know, a lot of people are always down on our play, but I look at a lot of them guys match the rate. Like I think Quentin Grimes gonna be that dude. You know what I mean? And I really think Quentin Grimes is, you know, and I can see why the Knicks Tom Thibodeau them hesitant by getting him in this deal. So, you know, we're gonna see how all the scenarios play out, but I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I think the draft thing is not an issue. Shy Powers, I think we don't have to worry about that from a future perspective, because you look at the Knicks draft capital right now, and I'll put that up there for you guys to check out. We in a good space right now. You think about, look at this right here. We got in 2023, we got our own pick. We got Dallas's 2023, which is protected. We got Detroit's pick, and we got Washington's pick. So the New York Knicks got 4 first rounders, their own, and 3 others. So, and then you go into 2024, we got our own, Detroit's, Miami's, Utah's, or Cleveland, depending on what that's going to be. So, you know, all the way down to 25, you know, we got our own. We got Milwaukee's, Detroit's, our own, Brooklyn's. I mean, man, the Knicks is loaded. They're loaded with first and second round picks. So, you know, I do think that we got a good situation going on, whereas we really can make this thing happen in New York, man, with the draft capital thing. And I want to see how it's going to pan out for the Knicks, man, when they do this thing, man, because I'm really excited about it. And I want to see these cats get it popping, man. I really do, man. So we're going to see how this thing pan out in New York and all that good stuff. Shy Powers, and what do you think, man? I don't have a problem. We got so many draft picks, we're never going to use them. I do think we can get and relinquish some of them. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, man. We got over the next 7 years, we got about 22 draft picks, and there's no way in the world that I believe that the New York Knicks, with the team that we have with all these young players, is going to draft anywhere close to 22 draft picks, first round or second round. So if we relinquish some of these draft picks right now to release some of that pressure, bring in a big player or 2 big players and stuff like that to bolster our team, I think we got a bright future coming for the New York Knicks. So, you know, the one major thing is, let's see what happens. How are we going to move these, make these deals and move these deals and make these trades, or do what they're going to do? Because when I get back on the mainland, man, I want to hear something positive, man. I hear now they're talking about RJ Barrett. Before it wasn't no RJ Barrett. Now they're talking about RJ Barrett and all this stuff. So, you know, it's a lot of hoopla out there. So I just want some of this stuff to be nipped in the bud. You know, if we're going to make the move, let's get them. If we're not going to make the move, we're still going to have to make a couple of trades, you know, to shorten down some of the stockpile that we got in certain positions. But let's make it happen, man. Let's get it done, man. I just, you know, hopefully, it's coming soon because Labor Day is coming up, and I think that's when the trade right before Labor Day or right after Labor Day. I think that's when we'll know who, what, where, or how we're going to go about this team and stuff like that. And that's what I'm looking forward to. You know what I mean? But and on that note, Devon, I just want to say, man, mad love to you, mad respect to you. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at, man. For real, man. I'm out here. I'm in mid-sea right now. We're way back to New York. I mean, we're on our way back to Florida right now. So, you know what I mean? I had to get a little PT time. I had to get away from wifey. She over there making it happen in the casino right now. I'm about to go back in there and grab $2 from her, see if I can make something happen too. You know what I mean? But on that note, man, peace and love, Divine. Salute to the chat as always. I'll be back aboard soon. We be back at it. Let's go, Knicks.
Salute, y'all. Be safe. Enjoy, man.
Salute.
I talk to you. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
You already know I stay true to the orange and blue.
What you knew.
Peace.
You knew. Peace. Yeah, man.
You thought you knew. Peace, Divine.
Peace. But yeah, man, we got to keep the Knicks thing on. We got to keep it moving, man. It's exciting, man. It's an exciting time to be a Knicks fan. We had a pretty good season so far. For the all season, I think the Jalen Brunson acquisition was real decent. I think the Mitchell Robinson signing was decent. I'm just hoping that Hartenstein signing was decent. We had a good summer league. First and foremost, we didn't win it all, but we had a good summer league. You see the maturation of some of the young men that's playing in the summer league. Quentin Grimes look like he's gonna be a keeper, but even if you had to put him in a deal, but I think he's gonna be a keeper at least in the NBA. So, I can understand why the Knicks is hesitant with a lot of things, but let's hope that everything works out for the best. We get this cat in here to get with RJ if he's still here, and Brunson and whoever, and Mitchell Robinson. We got a bona fide squad there. Yeah, they're going to definitely be up in that 6'5" echelon for in the playoffs. I think if you bring Donovan Mitchell here, the Knicks compete. They compete without him, but I think they go further with them. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of firepower in the Eastern Conference. I think Brooklyn just put themselves right back up there with KD staying, Ben Simmons healthy, Joe Harris coming back. They're going to be formidable. They're going to be one of the top 4 teams in the league. You got Giannis with Milwaukee with Chris Middleton coming back. You know what I mean? Miami's out there. So it's going to be interesting. But I do think if you bring Donovan Mitchell in, I think that changes the game from a little bit. So I think that's one step forward, closer to where we want to go. And you think about it, guys, it's been since 1973. We got to start somewhere with this championship run. I think with the acquisition of Brunson, if you could bring in Donovan Mitchell, and then you obviously gonna have to maybe with Randle or somebody to get him out of there to bring that other bona fide cat in here who's willing to come to a big market like New York, and put it down with them boys. And then I think the Knicks got a chance to compete. You know what I mean? I think they're doing it right. I mean, we cannot be mad at the Knicks organization right now. And if anybody is mad at it, got to be hyperbole. 22 draft picks, bro. I mean, you still got Fournier and Derrick Rose contracts no matter what happened, come off the books of the year. Or you still got 32 to play with. If you don't even do nothing, Fournier going to have, after this year, he have an option for only a team option. Derrick Rose is on a spiral right now. So even if you move them to, you know what I mean, you still next year you still got 30-something million to play with. If you don't move them and you just let them go as they go, or to trade them at the trading deadline and get some salary that can also get up out of here. So they're in a good spot, man. I'm really excited about where the Knicks are going, man. Don't let all of the smoke out there and all the craziness cloud your mind, man. Leon Rose, Scott Perry, and World Wide Web are doing a damn good job with this organization, man. Yeah, I look at where the Knicks is at now compared to 8-9 years ago or 3 years ago. 21 wins. You know what I mean? We got wins, we got players, we got capital, we got flexibility, and we got picks. You know what I mean? We got assets, man. And running the business, that's what it's about. You got to have assets. I don't care what business you in. You got to have assets. You know what I mean? And you talking from a businessman itself, I got to have assets. And that's what I do. You know what I mean? The Knicks got assets to wheel and deal whenever they want to. You know what I mean? And that's why I think this Donovan Mitchell thing will happen. Because they do have the capital, the assets to do it. If it don't happen, it won't be because the Knicks don't have the assets. It got to be something different than that. But I do think that the Knicks got whatever they need to go get Donovan Mitchell. And it all depends what the Knicks organization, all of them collective minds come together and say, you know what, we're gonna sacrifice this to get this. It's about what the Knicks want to sacrifice. And this Obi Toppin, so be it. RJ Barrett, it hurts, but we got to. I think right now he's a bona fide all-star, man. I mean, his numbers don't lie, guys, ladies and gents. His numbers don't lie. Donovan Mitchell can get down with a basketball. You know, and he represents New York real well. That's what I like about R.J. Barrett. They exemplify what the city's about. They taking on New York. They embracing this stuff, man. Not too many kids embrace, and much as crazy Julius Randle could have been, but he did embrace New York City. And that's important to have people who want to embrace it, because all these good players we talk about in the league, that don't mean they can come in the Garden and play. You know what I mean? It's a lot of cats that run from the smoke in New York. You know what I mean? Up in Madison Square Garden, they run from that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's gonna be lit right there, man. Frank Montel, that's gonna be real lit. And we took 2 L for the Yankees, but it's cool. Our Mets took a couple of L, but we'll be back. I'd rather lose now than lose maybe 30 games from now when we're about to close this thing out and take that first base spot. We're gonna lose a couple of games now, and then next thing you know, Mets get on the road. Yankees look like they're gonna be roll. It's gonna be a fun time in New York this year, man. You think about it. The Knicks is gonna be balling, Nets gonna be balling, the Mets is balling, the Yankees is balling. Hopefully the Giants, you know, have a better year than most people predicted, and the Jets get it popping. Rangers had it popping already. So it's, you know, for New York metropolitan sports, it's gonna be fun this year, man. I'm looking forward to the Knicks season. No matter which way they go, I think that it's gonna be good without Donovan Mitchell or with Donovan Mitchell. Without them, they won't be as good, but with them, they're gonna be decent. So I'm locked in, man. You know, I'm locked in, man. You know, I'm an 82 gamer counting preseason and everything. So let's see how it goes, man. I think this D Mitchell thing to me has got to be 85-15. 85 meaning 85% chance he coming to New York. 15% said he not coming to New York, and so I think that ratio right there. I just think that Donovan Mitchell probably wind up here unless something just goes totally array and it don't happen. But I think the Knicks should go get him, and if they can get him without sacrificing the farm and keep us structurally sound and keep us competitive. Bring him on up in here, and let's get it popping. You know what I mean? And let this man help us get to what we're trying to achieve. New York Knicks fans, we've been laugh out for a while. You know what I mean? Real talk. We've been laugh out Knicks for a while. We hate going in that, but we got a taste of the playoffs a couple of years ago. That man, that had me hungry. You feed me more. G-Man 7-8, my brother, what's good? G-Man, salute, man. I appreciate you coming in. Real talk. Yeah, man. But I'm ready for the Knicks to get in the playoffs and do some work. You know what I mean? And the only way you're gonna do that with talent. You know, you got to have talent. You know what I mean? Donovan Mitchell is a talent. You know what I mean? Brunson is a talent. RJ is a talent. Randle's a talent. Mitchell Roberts is a talent. So now that we have talent, you know, and we got some good talent on the bench, I think we got a pretty competitive team in New York City, man. Like we got a lot of other competitors. I mean, everybody in the East pretty much got good. You got up and coming cats like Detroit, Orlando. They drafted well. These cats gonna be up and coming. Then you already got the Chicago's of the world, and Indiana gonna be up and coming again once they get to where they got to go. But for Charlotte, until they get some defenders, they're gonna be who they are. I think Charlotte is a good team, but they ain't got no defenders down there. So LaMelo Ball or not, or whoever, they got to get a defensive mindset in Charlotte. So I think they're gonna be who they're gonna be. But I do think you got a lot of up and coming teams. But I think the Knicks is definitely in that fold. I think the Knicks is. You go position by position. You can't say the Knicks got a scrub team. If you match our point guard up against the point guard in the East, you match our shooting guard up against the shooting guard in the East, our small forward, our power forward, and our center. You match all the Knicks starting five up against every starting five in the East. We are just as good as them. You know what I mean? They might have one player who's bona fide offensive superstar, or something like that. But man for man, from a team perspective, I think the Knicks got a good team. I think they got a solid team. And I think Tibbs to get the best out of them. And big year for him. No excuse this year. He got some talent now. So Tibbs gonna be like, I'm going into the season with a healthy squad, a healthy Mitchell Robinson, improve hopefully RJ Barrett, and improve this guy. You got a point guard that you desperately needed that's here that wasn't here last year, and Jalen Brunson, because Kemba Walker, my man, then wasn't here. He had to get out. Keith Turner. He's on a cruise after he's on his honeymoon, so he had to get off and go meet his wife and everything like that. So he came in for a minute to show some love, and salute to him. And KJ, he's the coach. Coach KJ, he got the little AAU thing popping off, so he handled his business. So you got me up in here, guys. So I just got to deal with the supreme voice tonight. You know what it is. Knicks Real Talk, man. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I won't keep you cats long, and but I'm really happy about what's going on. With the Knicks team and moving forward with the organization. We looking for some good basketball to be played And I think they will be, man. I think we're gonna have a good Knicks team this year. So try to stay positive, man. Don't let all the outside noise fool you. Just look at the numbers, look at the talent we got, and look at what they could do. And why I think they're gonna be okay is because, like I said, a healthy Mitchell Robinson coming into the season, not the Mitchell Robinson that everybody tripping about when he was hobbling up and down the floor because he didn't have no wind. You got a Mitchell Robinson coming in training camp healthy, not because he had a broken foot for 9 months and couldn't play basketball. He all out of shape. But you don't have that Mitchell Robinson coming in this year. You got a young man he's out there putting in work. I mean, Mitchell Robinson is working hard this summer, and I think it's gonna reap the benefits on the court. So to me, having the Mitchell Robinson you probably get this year compared to the Mitchell Robinson who took a second half of the season to finally get going, he coming in the training camp ready to roll. A lot of these guys coming in ready to get it popping. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be really optimistic about the Knicks, man. And like I said, it's going to be tough. The East is loaded. They loaded. They got top to bottom. They got some good teams in there. But I think we good too. You know what I mean? So let's see how the Donovan Mitchell thing go. And I hope the Knicks can prosper off that, man, and make us a 50-win team or something like that, man, and get us to the playoffs. And once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. You know how the NBA goes. You know what I mean? You know, if things happen. You know what I mean? Whether it's injury, whether it's a lot, the cohesion with other teams didn't work out because, you know, and everything ain't guaranteed. You know what I mean? Championships ain't guaranteed. They're earned. So none of these teams, just because you win a sign some player don't mean you guarantee the championship. You know, you got to play the game. But you got to play on the court. So, yeah, we know Chicago got Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and they got Andre Drummond, but you still got to play on the court. You know, you got Vucevic between them. You know, even with the Boston Celtics, are the Boston Celtics going to repeat what they did last year? We got to see if that's going to be what's going to be with them. They got a good team. They went and picked up Malcolm Brogdon, brought him in there, and brought another key player in that team too. So they're going to be looking to do what they're going to do. So it's definitely going to be a battle, but I think we built for it, though. I think New York Knicks is built for it, man. I think we're going to get it popping for sure. I think we're going to be in the mix. I really believe that. I think this team, last year we could have been in the mix. We won from a couple of injuries here and there. We could have been in the mix. You know what I mean? Injuries changed the game. You know, losing Derrick Rose and putting Alec Burks in the starting lineup, that weakened our bench. That took almost 20 points away from the bench, over 20. I think Alec Burks the year before was like 12 points a game off the bench. Derrick Rose was 13 or 14. So you lose that bench power, and then you lose somebody like Nerlens Noel, who was a shot blocker, good defender. So them three guys alone hurt us, man. And Kemba Walker, think about Kemba Walker. He didn't even really give us too much. So I think we had a good team last year just because of injuries and the way the thing went, COVID and all this stuff. Just like everybody else, we didn't get there. You know what I mean? But I think this year we coming in with a different mindset. I think the Knicks they coming in with that point guard situation that I think we can't underestimate what Jalen Brunson is gonna do for the New York Knicks. And I say that cold-heartedly with real truth, man, because you got somebody who not a man of position. Alec Burks wasn't a point guard. Kemba Walker was an iffy point guard. Deuce Bride just wasn't ready. Now you got a guy that literally know how to get down. Took his team to the Western Conference Finals last year, dropping 41 in the playoffs, dropping 30 in the playoffs. When Luka was out of the game, this man was putting up 20 a game when Luka wasn't playing. So that tells you how good he could be. So I think he makes a big difference. I think he makes RJ even better next year. I think he makes Julius Randle even better next year. Because you got a guy who's going to demand the point guard spot. Like, I'm in control of this. I'm the guy who's running this. I'm the quarterback. And I think having a quarterback on our team is going to be important. So I think that it's going to be in there. Jalen Brunson ain't no scrub, man. I mean, the numbers don't lie neither. He's a winner, and I like winners. Came into college, 2 national championships. Came to, the Dallas Mavericks, Western Conference Finals. He's got that in him. You know what I mean? So I think we're gonna get back to that where we were the year before. I think RJ don't shoot 60-something% from the 3-point. I mean, from the charity stripe this year. I don't think none of them Knicks will be shooting 40% from the floor like they did last year. I think with the acquisition of Jalen Brunson, they're gonna lift the efficiency of this team up. Like E said, real talk. Better efficiency, talent, and coaching also key facts. Real talk. I believe that. So I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do. But it all, no matter what happens on paper, you got to put it all on the floor and execute it on the court and do all that good stuff. But I think the Knicks gonna be okay. I'm hoping that we just go out there and play ball. We got a lot of good players there, man. So let's see how it goes. We hope that the Donovan Mitchell thing flourish and to take place without getting rid of some of our favorite players and lovable players, but at the same time bringing in a player who could make a difference on our team. They might got to get another team involved. Maybe the Lakers or somebody could. As they said, Pat Beverly and Bob Donovan might be going to the Lakers. So if you send Bogdanovich and him to the Lakers, shit, you can roll Russell Westbrook right through to help facilitate this trade with us and send Russell Westbrook right there to Utah. Danny ain't got to apply with a $47 million expiring contract. That's what he wants. So if they can get him in the mix, but get the Lakers in the mix where you send Patrick Beverley and you send Bogdanovich over to the Lakers. Lakers can use that sniper and they can use a point guard like Patrick Beverley that defends. So and I really do think that could be possible. Nah, hey Frank, I agree with you, but I think that ain't what Danny ain't looking for. Danny ain't want picks, man. He picks. He want picks. I see what Danny ain't trying to do. He trying to do the Boston Celtics thing all over again. And when he first took over that, he doing the same thing all over from the way it looks to me. So yeah, it is a lot of noise out there, a lot of lies. But the good thing about it, it keeps us able to speak about things. So a lot of it might not be true, what might not be hyperbole, but you know what? It's because that is the topic of conversation. Excuse me. Donovan Mitchell is the big topic. Now that KD is gone, who's the major NBA player out there right now? Now that KD is off the books, because he's staying where he at. The main person right now out there is Donovan Mitchell. He's the biggest elephant in the room in the NBA right now. That you could say that where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? With Donovan Mitchell, where there's smoke, there's fire. So that's real talk. He's out there, and so he's the only cat other than that. And then whatever's going to happen with Colin Sexton and all them other, but I think he's the biggest fish out there now that I know of was KD. And now that KD's going to stay in Brooklyn, I think Donovan Mitchell is the biggest fish out there for us that can be traded or looking to get traded or whatever the case may be. So let's hope that we stay in the mix. Salute to my man L Matrix. Salute L Matrix. Salute to the chat. E Gibson, Frank, everybody. Y'all got it popping up in there. G man, everybody, man. Salute to y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. We in the building, man. Salute to Sharp Howell and KJ. But it's going to be interesting for the next couple of weeks, guys. I'm hoping the thing get done one way or the other, get resolved one way or the other. I'm gonna go out on a limb to maybe in the next week. I'm going to say in the next week this thing get done. And it could be sooner. I'm going to say by a week from now, and I could be wrong. I'm going to probably eat crow as long as you put some Sweet Baby Ray's on it. I ain't going to probably eat no crow. But I'm going to predict that by next week, Donovan Mitchell might be in New York or this thing don't happen. But, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's facts. He gives him that's real talk, and that's why I think he's more concerned. He's more concerned with the picks than the players. Because I know they know what he's chasing. He chasing that young man coming out of overseas next year. Wana, I can't pronounce that name. It's so long. Wana something, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So let's see what Danny Ainge do. Okay, I see that G man as well. I can see that, but yeah, I want to get this thing done so we know what we're going in the training camp with. Now we can say, unless as of right now the Donovan Mitchell thing going, at least you know who's going to be pretty much a core of the team, unless something happen after Donovan Mitchell. But I think once you get this deal done, you pretty much know who's going to be here. You know who's going to be in a uniform, and you know who's going in the training camp. Because the one player that's interesting out there, guys, real quick. Even though I didn't put this in the segment, is Cam Reddish. He's one guy to me is what are the Knicks going to do with him? You know what I mean? Do you guys think that Cam Reddish, if you guys on him because of his talent, or do you think that this cat really going to be able to make it with the Knicks, or do you think they're going to send him to Utah? It's interesting to me with Cam Reddish, man. He got a lot to prove this year. So he might be one of them hungry guys that you wish could stay on the team, because I think he's going to be hungry. But if you move Fournier and another player, Cam Reddish could play if he's not in the deal, because now you got roster spot. Now he can play the three, back up the three, or start, whatever the case may be. That's why it's so important with the Donovan Mitchell thing to bring one player in and move out three. And I think the Knicks need to do that to help free up a roster spot or two. Maybe guys like Cam Reddish can come and play the three behind RJ or whatever the case may be, and get some minutes. And that way Grimes can get his minutes and Fournier gone. I am too, man. I think the kid got size. He got skills. I'm rooting for him too, E. Gibson. I really think I would love to see Cam Reddish be able to get his swagger back, get his groove, man, and make some sense for the Knicks. I think he got a good young talent there. He just was starting to come into his own before he got an injury last year. I think him and Grimes kind of if they wouldn't have got hurt like him and Grimes last year, we might would have got in that play-in. You know, I think we had enough talent, but when Grimes went down and then my man, Cam Reddish went down, it's just like, wow. I think that's about it right there. So let's see what he's gonna do with him, man. He's one of them elephants in the room for the Knicks that I'm really interested to see. Danny Ainge don't have a problem with him, knowing that he's uninspiring. Because would they sign him? I don't know if Danny Ainge going to take on Cam Reddish. If he he could trade him, obviously. But knowing that you're going to have to either extend him or let him walk or trade him, you know what I mean? So he's a really interesting limb. But I love his talent, though. I'm with you, Ed Santana. I'm hoping that's the case, my brother, because I really think RJ need to be here. I think RJ, he's New York Knick all day to me. In my heart, I don't want him gone. And I think he's gonna be, like I said, ain't too many cats came out of that draft class, like other than John Morant and him said they got to the playoffs. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Zion Williamson make it that year. I can't recall it. Zion in the first year, second year, I think he was hurt. But for RJ Barrett to come in the second year in the NBA, put up the numbers he did, and get the Knicks to the playoffs with Julius Randle, you got to give him flowers for that. So he got a winning mentality. His numbers getting better every year. And once he improves his percentages, he's gonna be decent. You know what I mean? He can go downside. The year before he shot almost 30-something%, 39% from three. We can get back to being 38%, 37% from three. Keep driving that ball, getting better finishing around the rim, which I think he will. RJ Barrett is special. So I get what you E. Santana. I believe that. I hope they don't make that move anyway. Yeah, I think Cam is one guy that I really, really want to see what's going to pop with him. The Knicks they traded Knox in the first round pick for him. So you got to put him in the Mitchell D. If you put him in the Mitchell D, then I think that cleans up everything. That's fine. You gave up a talent for a talent and a pick. But I like his frame size, 6'8", broad shoulders, can shoot from the outside, athletic. You can get in the inside, athletic. He got skill. So let's see, we can put it together. So that's why I think the Knicks got a sleeping team down there. I don't think the Knicks ain't bad as people think they are. You know what I mean? I just think they're going to be pretty ready to roll. So let's hope that Cam Reddish, if he's going to be a Knick, some people talk about that he might not be in a rotation. I just can't see that. Not that talent. That's why the Knicks got to make a move. You got to move Fournier and them. You got to make a move in this deal to get these cats some space. You know what I mean? Now, the only way we're going to do that is by Fournier and like Frank and like all you guys said, man. Fournier is the one to me. You get him out of there with a couple other players. Then Donovan Mitchell come in. You got two roster spots. Like I said, I do believe that Quentin Grimes, if he's still here, will be that backup to Donovan Mitchell. If Cam Reddish is still here, I think he'll be that backup to RJ Barrett. That's solid. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes, man. But I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground and my eyes open, man. And we keep this thing in flux, man. So I do think it's gonna pop off. But listen, man, what a great night. I appreciate you cats hanging there with me, man. All my partners in crime. Thank you, Shy Powers, coming in on your honeymoon to show some love. We appreciate that, man. But I'm looking forward to everything, man. Yeah, and you're right, it's like we don't know too much about it. You know what I mean? And I like to think that this cat, what I was intrigued by when Summer League was here. And I noticed that when the whole Knick contingent was there, I seen Cam Reddish sitting right next to Leon Rose. That made me feel good to see that. You know what? He probably like, listen, we watching the game, and this is what we're gonna be doing, blah blah blah. So to see Cam Reddish sitting there with Leon Rose, Scott Perry right there, that was a good feeling to me. So I hope that they let Cam Reddish know, like, man, they didn't bring him here for nothing. You know what I mean? I don't think they brought Cam Reddish here just to bring him here. You know what I mean? I think they believe that. I think they know his talent. I mean, to give up Knox in the first round, a Charlotte pick for him, you had to think that the cat was worth that. And that's why the Lakers want him. That's why people want him, because he's a talent. So I want to see what he's going to do for the Knicks, man. And hopefully he can get in here and stay unless he's in a deal. So Knicks got some good players. They got some good players, man. Some young talent, too. A lot of young players. You take you take Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose off the team. The Knicks probably got one of the youngest teams in the league. I mean, people forget RJ Barrett, only 22 years old. Hadn't even played this will be a fourth year, hadn't even played 4 years yet. You know what I mean? So, it's amazing what this cat did in 3 years, 14, 17, or 20 points a game. That's elevation. You know what I mean? And then Obi Toppin from 4 points to 9 points, or from 11 minutes to 17 minutes, he get more minutes. He probably get you more points. So it's all about the process. And I think the Knicks is headed in that direction. Yeah, facts. Me too, man. I like his size, man. I really do. I like Cam Reddish's side. He got the broad shoulders, man. And but the cat can shoot the ball. When he was at Duke, man, I thought he was probably better shooter out of all those cats. Cam Reddish can drop some trades when he was at Duke. He was killing it. So, and you can see that, with the games that he had with Atlanta, he started 18. So with the games that he started for Atlanta, he was like almost damn close to 18 points. You know what I mean? Had some 30-point games. He had a taste of the playoffs when they played us. So, he know what it is to play in the playoffs. So, this is a important year for him, everybody. It really is. Cam Reddish, this is an important year for him. He gonna either wind up being able to get some good money, or he gonna wind up being like Knox. I think he's better than Knox from an all-around perspective, but he didn't get a chance to come out here and show and prove and wind up helping himself facilitate getting a good bag, or he can go around there and get some chump change. Cam Reddish got to, usually when guys in their contract year, they usually show out. That's why I was interested with R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett in a contract year, and you best believe he's going to show out. He's going to show out. I think R.J. Barrett easy 24, 23, 24, depending on how many, it's a lot of distribution got to go on there. A lot of guys need the ball. If Donovan Mitchell here, he got to have the ball. Like I said earlier, Randle got to have the ball. Brunson need the ball. Where's all these shots going to come from? But if they equally distributed, then they're going to be a pretty good team. Because you know what? You won't be able to double team Julius Randle with Donovan Mitchell here. You won't be able to double team none of them cats with Donovan Mitchell here. You won't be able to double team Donovan Mitchell with Julius Randle and RJ there. So from an offense perspective, a lot of teams gonna have a problem with the Knicks on defense, because you ain't gonna be too much double team. There's gonna be a lot of switching, but there ain't gonna be no double team, because you ain't gonna be able to double team Randle and leave Brunson or RJ and Donovan Mitchell open. That ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because them cats, they bona fide scorers. You know what I mean? They all can put the ball in the hole. You know what I mean? And I think they, so if the 3-point ball is knocking down this year, if Randle can get back the way he was the year before, and RJ the year before, Donovan Mitchell do what Donovan Mitchell do, and if Jalen Brunson do what he did last year, team gonna have to also play the Knicks too. They're gonna have to defend against them. If you ain't a good defending team, I think the Knicks will give it to you, especially with Mitchell Robinson back there. Offense round rebounder who can clean up the glass like he do. So if them Knicks missing shots, one thing you can say about Mitchell Robinson, he cleaning up the boards. So the Knicks will have a pretty decent starting five there. And we have to see how it goes. We're gonna be going against cats who can get it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they should be able to get it too. So I think it's gonna be really interesting year to see how this thing pop off, man. You know what? I swear I would have wanted to say that, man. But RJ got that work ethic like no other, man. And you know what? Jet Flap, I get you on that, because RJ don't have a sexy game. You know what I mean? He just got his type of game where he can get you on a three, he can get you down the lane, and that's what I do like about RJ and Jalen Brunson. Them cats go downhill, man. Them cats go downhill. And then once the refs respect RJ body bump, and now he done been in the league in his 4th year, the refs gonna start giving RJ a little bit more of them calls now, because they realize that's what this game is about. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to RJ get a little bit more finishing around the rim this year. And like I said, he only shot 69% from the three. From the charity stripe. RJ Barrett last year would have hit 3 more free throws a game. He'd probably average 22 a game last year. So once the charity stripe numbers go up, and he get a little bit better finishing at the rim, which he's working on in the off season, he gonna be a problem, man. I mean, I just think anybody who numbers will grow like that, you could put RJ numbers up against guys like Jimmy Butler and all of them in their 3rd year. None of them a lot of them is equivalent to RJ. And I think RJ is on that. He's on that cusp. I think he's on that Jimmy Butler type level. On that, he's on that level of being that dude, man. He might not be the one that's gonna take you to a championship, but he's gonna be a good piece to one. Because RJ Barrett, he's not to play basketball. Kid been playing basketball since he was, knee high to a grape, I guess. It's in him. It's in his DNA. It's his pedigree. His work ethic. His work ethic is there. The cat want to be great. When you got cats who want to be great, 9 out of 10 they work hard, they become great. So I think R.J. Barrett, the best is yet to come from him, man. Don't give up on that young man yet, man. I think that kid, from what I see, and OG like me has been watching basketball since the 70s. I look at a guy. I don't only look at what they're doing now. I look at what they can be because of the way they carry themselves or the way they work in the gym. How often they trying to get better at their game, and he's one of them guys that do that. And a lot of them are like that. Not only RJ, the whole Nick. Believe it or not, I got to give Scott Perry his flowers because since Scott Perry came in 2018, he really put that work ethic into this organization and the culture. And when he got here in 2018, he kind of had these guys, listen, man, you got to be in the gym twice a day, blah, 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 so in the culture. Tom Thibodeau, he's just a developer overall. All these guys got better than him. Look what RJ numbers been since Tom Thibodeau been there. They got better. Look at Obi Toppin last year since they've been around Tom Thibodeau. They got better. We might disagree with some of his coaching decisions, but you can't say he don't develop these players, though. Look at Quentin Grimes if he wouldn't have got hurt. These cats get better around Tibbs. Has always been that dude. Always been that type of guy, man. That's why he was on the USA team with Pop and all them guys. They coaches, man. They real coaches, man. They are real lifers. These life basketball coaches, man. And these cats have been in the game a long time. They won on every level. So now we got somebody like him in our organization. Now he got hopefully he can show and prove, and we take it from there. Walter White said, "Yep, yeah, absolutely." I mean that's true, but I think what for me, and I agree with you, but I do think Donovan Mitchell fits New York though, man. I mean, Westchester, everything about him is the city. He loved New York, his family here. He wanted to be like Rick Pitino said. Rick Pitino, who coached the Knicks, who coached Donovan Mitchell in college, like he said, Donovan Mitchell want to be here. You know what I mean? He embodies this thing, man. Yeah, facts. Him and RJ, he embodies everything that you love about New York sports, and that's why you gotta listen. RJ got a demeanor. He got the demeanor to be here. Donovan Mitchell got a demeanor. I mean, and even Julius Randle had that demeanor until last year. He kind of went, you're not gonna worry about that with RJ. He's cool, calm. He stay even keel. You don't let the pressure get to him. RJ got drafted by the Knicks under all that pressure. You know what it is to get drafted by the Knicks at the 3 spot? He this ain't any organization, man. This ain't any market. This is the Mecca. This is New York City. I mean, it's basketball that is 101 on the rack, the rucker. Everywhere you go, man, people breathe basketball. They talk basketball. So, and you got all the majority of all the media in the world is here. Every media outlet probably you could think of is in New York City. So it's a lot of pressure. Then you got us, the fans who are really knowledgeable, like you guys in the chat, and not pat myself on the back. I'm pretty, and all that stuff, but we are knowledgeable fans. We know basketball, we know the Knicks, and we know New York City, and we know all the hyperbole that come along with it, the propaganda that come along with it, the tabloid that come with it. But we also know that what comes with it is real knowledgeable fans who know basketball. So, but the pressure to play in New York is amazing. I mean, a lot of these stars can't handle it. That's why they don't come here. Look what KD and all them going through. Everybody ain't built for this, man. You know what I mean? So to have guys who like RJ who willing to take on that responsibility, and I'm a Knick, you know what I mean? And guys like that, Donovan Mitchell who come from here willing to embrace it, you know what I mean? You got them the guys you want. Them the type of guys you want in New York. I don't care how good a player is. If he can't handle this stuff over here, don't even bring him here. A lot of guys might have put up 30 in a lot of other gyms. I mean, you can do this on a regular night when somebody start booing you behind or saying that you have a bad game and they let you hear it. Everybody can't handle that. Not everybody can handle New York. So it takes a special player to play in New York. It really does. It takes such to play in the Garden, the world most famous arena. The world most famous arena. Ain't nothing you can say about that. And it takes a special player, and they got to have a special type of build to play in here. And I think we built for it. But I'm liking where we at as a team overall. We got a bunch of young players here, man, that can really be able to pop, or they can go somewhere else and pop, depending on what happens. It's a business, moving and shaking all around. You know how it go. They can move you anytime they want to, or so it's nobody guaranteed. I don't. That's why I say I don't buy a lot of jerseys. I stay true to the orange and blue. I don't, because I just know anybody can go. Everybody can go. We traded Patrick Ewing, so you know what I mean. What to tell you, it's just a business. So let's see how our boys progress, man. I'm with the Donovan Mitchell thing. long as it don't mess the infrastructure up moving forward. It puts us in a better position to say we can go get one more piece and bring it here and we can compete for this thing. It's time for the New York Knicks doing it right though. In the next 3 years, whatever, we got to try to get to the mountaintop, man. It's that time. Come on, now. I know a lot of you guys might be younger than some of those guys. So a lot of the older guys, they ready to see the championship, but long as it's done the right way. But I like the youth movement too. I think we got some good youth down here. But now that you done did this thing with Jalen Brunson, and if you bring in Donovan Mitchell, like I said earlier, you're not looking to be you're looking to go trying to do some things. So I think that's where the Knicks going to be at with that. Let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how this thing pop, man. And if it pop the right way, we have a lot to talk about the next week or two. With Dr. Mitchell, if he come to New York, if he come here, we see how it goes, and then we're gonna really be able to talk about it. Yeah, absolutely, Walter, you're 100% right there, brother. I agree with you 100%, no question. And high character guys as well, L Matrix, real talk, and that's what you want, man. No matter who you are, Knicks, anybody, when you even yourself in life, you want high character dudes around you. You don't want no knuckleheads around you. You don't want no clowns around you. You want some high character dudes who's about something, who about going hard, and that's in general. I mean, I think you got to apply that to basketball and life. You want real people around you who gonna do some things. You know what I mean? And going out there and playing and helping you get strong in all phases. So I really think that's important. I think we headed that direction. We do got high character guys. That's why you kept the Derrick Roses around. Even hate to see Tyler Gibson go, but them guys exemplify character. You know what I mean? Pros. They pros. You know what I mean? And that's what you want because this is a professional league. And you want pros around here, man. Who understand the culture and about the process of being great. You don't want nobody. I don't want nobody coming on this who want to be good. I don't want nobody want to be good like R.J. Barrett. That he want to be great. Anybody shortchanging something, then you say you're going to be good, that's all you're going to be. If you say you want to be great, then you strive to be great. I think guys like R.J. Barrett, he say he want to be great. He don't say he want to be good. He say he want to be great. So that means he want to put the work in to be the best. And then the type of cats you want on your squad, unless you born with God-given talent. If you're born with God-given talent, then it's different. But when you don't have a supreme talent, but you got to work on your craft to get better to achieve that goal, you're going to have to put the work in. And and I really believe that. Yeah, you're right, EJ. I do think these cats could be the cornerstones of this thing. R.J. Barrett and Donovan Mitchell, they definitely could be the cornerstones. I don't have no problem with that whatsoever. So let's see how it goes. Let's hope R.J. stay here, man. I ain't trying to lose no R.J. Barrett. Let's see. Like I said, I don't want to lose Obi them either, but definitely not R.J. I think he should be a piece with Mitchell, not a piece for Mitchell. I think he should be playing with Donovan Mitchell, not against Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that story that we had out there. I know Ian Begley talked about it. Let's hope that's not what it's going to be. And give them the picks, man. Like I said, we got we ain't gonna use all the picks. We got enough to give. We got enough picks to give them, and still make some deals down the line. So let's hope that it picks in the maybe two or three players, but let's just keep the supreme talent on the team because talent wins in this league. I don't care how good of a coach you are. You ain't got talent, then you're just a mediocre coach. And that's anybody. I don't care. Pop ain't doing what he did when he had Tim Duncan them now, is he? No. You know what I mean? He ain't doing what he did when he had Tim Duncan and them and all these other guys because it's about talent. You know what I mean? So, obviously when you got good talent, you can coach talent. You know what I mean? And so right now, Nick's trying to build a talent roster up. And I think once they do that, what you said? Yeah, well, I guess. My bad, Walter. If I misread something, you can put it again. I don't understand what you're talking about, but I get it. Anyway, but it is what it is, man. We just gotta hope the Knicks just get and do what they do, and like he said, don't get fleeced. Just try to give the right amount for the right amount. You got to get Donovan Mitchell. You're going to give up something. He's an all-star, but we can't give up R.J. Barrett for unprotected. That's insane. That's insane if you do something like that. Evan Fournier and them for and unprotected. Okay, that's different. But R.J. and for unprotected, nah. No, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, but so you got to hope that the Knicks, Scott Perry and Leon Rose and all these guys is doing their due diligence and just thinking about, we're gonna do it this way, and this is what it's gonna be. This is how we're gonna do it, and if it work out, at the end of the day, if it all work out, we're gonna be all right, guys, ladies and gents. But yeah, man, listen, man, I appreciate y'all coming in. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate all y'all coming in. The chat is where it's at. Real talk, man. Thank y'all so much. Wherever you streaming them from, we appreciate y'all as well. Knicks Real Talk, let's get it, man. We here, man. We stay locked in as this stuff, comes about every day. When something happens, we talk about it. We create some content for us to talk about. You know what I mean? But right now, we know the elephant in the room is Donovan Mitchell right now. And I think once that dust clears and the smoke settles, we know where we at and everything. But to all you out there, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be safe out there, wherever you at, man. Just do your thing, be safe, and all that good stuff, man. And I see y'all in the next episode. Y'all hit that thumbs up going out the door. Tell your friend, tell a friend. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. We in the building, man. Real talk. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. With or without Mitchell, we're gonna be good. No question about it. He ain't the end all be all. He's a important piece, but he ain't the end all be all. If they don't make the move with Donovan Mitchell, I still think the Knicks gonna be good. So I'm good with that anyway. Well, real talk on that one. I agree with you on that. So listen, man, y'all be safe out there. Enjoy your next day, man, your weekend. Y'all look for the notifications. Y'all check for it, man. I'll be in the building. Knicks Real Talk, Divine, Shy Powers, KJ Events. The chat is where it's at each and every day, each and every way, man. I appreciate y'all. And let's go, man. I'll see you cats on the next episode. Y'all stay humble, stay safe, man. Peace. Time for Divine Shot, KJ Events. This Real Talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena. Look at click, that's the conglomerate. Knicks Real Talk is real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, I'm dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, be straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. My entourage be on the job, my energy. 50 took in the temple. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the things we ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Nick City drip. Infinity Dexys on the court, looking pretty legit. I say true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew, so here's a few bars to shine like Star Divine on Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes,
Let's
sir.
get it.